There comes a moment in life when the noise of the world tells you to move faster, try harder, and chase everything in sight. But for the chosen ones, that path only leads to emptiness. The real secret isn't about chasing, it's about aligning. The more you run after things, the further they seem to move. But when you stand firmly in your divine truth, the right blessings, people, and opportunities begin to find you. And the most powerful part, you don't have to force it. In this message, we're going to uncover some of the silent traps that try to distract chosen ones from their path. And once you understand these traps, you'll see how much energy you've been wasting chasing things that were never meant to be yours. Let's begin. In a world that celebrates overnight fame, quick riches, and instant breakthroughs, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing fast results. The internet is filled with stories of people who seem to rise out of nowhere, becoming millionaires, influencers, or stars in what feels like a single moment. But what those stories don't tell you is that chasing quick success often comes with hidden costs. For the chosen ones, quick success is rarely the true path. Why? Because your journey is different. You are being prepared, refined, and stretched for something greater than just temporary applause. Success that comes too quickly can collapse just as quickly, because it often lacks the foundation to sustain it. Like building a house on sand, it looks solid for a while, but the first storm can bring it crashing down. Chosen ones are not called to chase shortcuts. You are called to walk the longer road, the one that teaches you discipline, resilience, patience, and wisdom. These qualities cannot be rushed. They must be lived. And while it may feel slow compared to others, your journey is designed to last. Real success is not a spark that burns out. It is a steady flame that cannot be extinguished. Think about it. The strongest trees in the forest take the longest to grow. Their roots run deep underground, unseen, for years before the tree towers above the rest. That's how it is with the chosen ones. Your roots are being established, so when your time comes, you cannot be shaken by storms, criticism, or envy. The danger of chasing quick success is that it can tempt you to compromise, to lie, cheat, or cut corners just to get ahead. But every shortcut comes with a hidden price, and sooner or later, the bill arrives. That's why God slows down the process for the chosen ones. It isn't punishment, it's protection. You are not built for fleeting success. You are built for legacy. So, the next time impatience whispers in your ear, reminding you that others are ahead, remember this: fast is fragile, but steady is strong. Don't chase quick success. Build a foundation that will outlast the trends of this world. Your blessing isn't late. It's being carefully prepared to meet you at the right moment. Attention is one of the most addictive currencies of our generation. We live in a world where likes, followers, and comments are treated like treasure, and many people spend their entire lives chasing after it, desperate to be noticed, desperate to be seen. But here's the truth: chasing attention is one of the quickest ways to lose yourself. For the chosen ones, your light was never meant to beg for recognition. Your very presence carries weight. When you step into a room aligned with your purpose, people notice, not because you begged for it, but because authenticity shines brighter than noise. Yet the temptation is strong. Social media, culture, and even our own insecurities push us to perform, to show off, to scream louder just to keep people's eyes on us. But in the end, attention without substance is empty. Think of how many public figures have risen to fame only to fall just as quickly because all they had was attention, not alignment. Attention can make you feel powerful for a moment, but it doesn't last. What lasts is authenticity, integrity, and truth. The chosen ones must learn this. It is better to be respected silently than noticed for nothing. Chasing attention also makes you dependent on others to validate your existence. You begin to shape your life, not around who you are, but around what gets noticed. And little by little, you lose your essence. But when you stop chasing attention and focus instead on your calling, something powerful happens. Attention starts to chase you. The right people, the right audience, the right opportunities, those things are drawn to authenticity. Real influence doesn't need to be begged for. It flows naturally when you're aligned. And here's the deeper truth. When you walk in divine favor, God makes sure that your light cannot be hidden. You won't need to beg the world to see you. They won't be able to ignore you. So, chosen ones, don't waste your energy running after the shallow approval of eyes that don't matter. Stand in your truth. Let your work speak. And watch as attention comes knocking at your door without you lifting a finger. Not every open door is meant for you. In fact, some doors are traps disguised as blessings. And one of the greatest mistakes chosen ones make is assuming that every chance that comes their way must be pursued. But here's the reality. If an opportunity demands you to betray yourself, silence your voice, or compromise your faith, it's not an opportunity, it's a distraction. The enemy knows that the best way to derail a chosen one is not always through obvious destruction, but through counterfeit offers, shiny deals, quick rewards, or appealing paths that look promising but secretly lead you away from your true purpose. That's why discernment is such a powerful tool. Just because a door is open doesn't mean it was opened by God. Chasing the wrong opportunities often comes from impatience. We don't want to wait for divine timing, so we force our way into places we don't belong. But forcing entry into the wrong room only delays the blessings waiting in the right one. Think about how many people have accepted jobs, relationships, or deals that looked promising, but ended in regret. That's the danger of chasing what was never meant for you. For the chosen ones, the right opportunities will never demand you to shrink who you are. They won't ask you to hide your light just to fit in. They won't strip you of your peace. The right doors honor your values, protect your spirit, and align with your purpose. The truth is simple. The blessing meant for you cannot miss you. It will open at the right time without you begging, forcing, or compromising. Your job is not to chase every door. It's to wait for the one that leads to destiny, not destruction. So pause, breathe, be patient. The next time you see a glittering opportunity, ask yourself, does this bring me closer to my calling, or does it distract me from it? Remember, the chosen ones are not meant to run after every open door. They are meant to discern which ones carry their divine assignment. Few things are more tempting than revenge. When someone betrays you, lies about you, or tries to destroy you, the urge to strike back can feel overwhelming. But for the chosen ones, chasing revenge is one of the greatest traps. Why? Because it lowers your vibration and pulls you into a fight that God never assigned to you. Revenge feels satisfying in the moment, but it steals your peace. It keeps you tied to people who were only meant to be lessons, not lifetimes. And worst of all, it distracts you from your purpose. The more you focus on proving your enemies wrong, the less energy you have to prove your calling right. The chosen ones must remember this truth. God fights for you. Every betrayal is a redirection. Every attack is an announcement that your elevation is near. While your enemies are busy plotting, heaven is busy preparing your promotion. To chase revenge is to step out of divine order and into unnecessary warfare. The best revenge is not words, not retaliation, but growth, rising higher than they expected, succeeding where they wanted you to fail, and walking in peace while they're stuck in bitterness. That's the true victory. Your enemies expect you to crumble under pressure, but when you rise instead, it becomes a testimony that no weapon formed against the chosen ones shall prosper. So let go of the urge to pay back. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Trust God's justice. The truth is, He can humble your enemies in ways you never could. And when He does, the world will see it wasn't your hand that brought them down, but His. Chosen ones don't waste energy chasing revenge. They chase peace, purpose, and progress. And when the dust settles, your life will stand as proof that favor is stronger than hatred and purpose is stronger than envy. One of the most subtle traps that chosen ones fall into is holding on too tightly to who they used to be. The human heart clings to comfort zones. We remember the old victories, the old routines, even the old struggles, and sometimes we try to drag those pieces of the past into our present. But yesterday's version of you is not equipped to handle today's assignment. For the chosen ones, growth is not optional. It's the very reason you were chosen. And growth demands shedding. Think about a snake. In order to survive, it must shed its skin. That process isn't comfortable, but it's necessary. The same is true for your spiritual journey. You cannot step into your divine future while still wearing yesterday's identity. The danger of chasing yesterday's self is that you end up living in cycles. You replay the same habits, relationships, and patterns, expecting something new to appear, but nothing fresh can live in a space occupied by the old. Chosen ones are called to evolve. Each stage of your life is a chapter, and the story can't keep moving forward if you're clinging to old pages. This is why God sometimes allows situations that force you to release the past. Friendships fall away. Jobs end. Seasons shift. It isn't punishment. It's preparation. If you're still grieving who you used to be, you might miss who you're becoming. And let me tell you, the person you're becoming is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you can imagine. So, chosen ones, don't chase yesterday's self. Don't try to resurrect the old you. Instead, honor who you were. Thank that version for getting you this far and release it. The only way forward is to embrace transformation, because your future requires all of you, fully present, fully alive, and fully surrendered. Validation is a trap as old as time. From childhood, we're wired to crave approval from parents, teachers, friends, and eventually society at large. But for chosen ones, this craving can become a prison. The constant search for, "Am I enough?" or "Do they see me?" steals your joy and chains your destiny to the opinions of others. Here's the truth. People are fickle. One day they praise you, the next day they criticize you. If your identity is tied to their validation, you will forever live on shaky ground. The chosen ones cannot afford to let fragile opinions define eternal purpose. Your worth isn't up for debate. It was established long before anyone had an opinion about you. Chasing validation also makes you vulnerable to manipulation. When people sense that you live for their approval, they can control you with it. They will raise you up when it benefits them and withdraw support when it doesn't. But when your validation comes from God, you become unshakable. You don't bend to the winds of opinion because your foundation is higher than human praise. Think about it. Some of the greatest leaders, prophets, and innovators in history were ridiculed, mocked, or rejected in their time. But they didn't need validation to keep moving. They needed vision. And that's what sets the chosen ones apart. Your path won't always make sense to others. In fact, many won't understand you at all. But that's okay. You weren't called to fit in. You were called to stand out. So, let go of the endless pursuit of validation. Don't chase the applause of the crowd, because the same crowd that cheers today can jeer tomorrow. Instead, stand firm in your calling, knowing that heaven itself validates you. And once you walk in that truth, human approval will feel small compared to divine affirmation. Perfection is an illusion, yet it's one of the strongest chains holding people back. Society sells us the image of the perfect house, perfect career, perfect body, perfect relationship. And many spend their whole lives running after this dream, exhausted and unfulfilled. But for the chosen ones, the pursuit of perfection is not just tiring, it's destructive. Why? Because perfection was never the assignment. Purpose was, and the two are not the same. Chasing perfection keeps you stuck in comparison, always measuring yourself against an unrealistic standard. It whispers, "You're not enough yet," even when you're giving your all. And in doing so, it blinds you to the beauty of progress. The truth is, the chosen ones were not called to be flawless. You were called to be authentic. And authenticity is messy, raw, and human. Perfection hides flaws. Authenticity transforms them. Every scar, every mistake, every shortcoming is part of the testimony that shapes you into who you are meant to be. When you chase a perfect life, you also miss the life you already have. Gratitude slips away because you're too busy chasing what's missing instead of cherishing what's present. But gratitude is the soil where blessings grow. Without it, even perfection would feel empty. So, chosen ones, stop striving for a life without cracks. Instead, embrace the cracks as the places where God's light shines through. You don't need a perfect life to fulfill your purpose. You need a faithful life, a surrendered life, a life that says, "Even with my imperfections, I am willing." That's what makes you unstoppable. We've uncovered some of the silent traps that keep chosen ones from walking in their full power. Whether it's chasing quick success, attention, validation, or even yesterday's self, each one is a distraction that drains energy from your true calling. But once you recognize these traps for what they are, you gain the strength to rise above them. Remember this: the world will always try to lure you with shortcuts, applause, and illusions of perfection. But the path of the chosen ones is different. It's deeper, slower, and far more meaningful. You are not built for temporary highs. You are built for lasting impact. So let this be your reminder. Stop chasing what was never meant for you. Align with who you truly are. And watch how everything meant for you begins to flow into your life without force. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these traps spoke to you the most today? Was it validation, perfection, attention, or something else? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you felt this message speak to your spirit, type "Amen" in the comments to claim it for yourself. Also, subscribe this channel, The Mystic Eye, to join this community of chosen ones and stay updated with further such videos.